Hi, my name is Bridget Hiraldo. I am a speech-language pathologist, and I wanted to make this video to go over how to say S and how we can use other sounds to elicit that first correct S production, how to practice S, and then how to use those sounds to move through the different stages of practice and hopefully reach generalization. So before we get into all the tips and tricks, first things first, we have to make sure we have the basics right. Just like in life, if we don't have a strong foundation, then everything crumbles. So please don't skip this part. I'm going to go through how to say S correctly, and I'm going to go through what each articulator does. So one of the most important things when we say S is we have to worry about the jaw. So to say S correctly, we need to make sure that our jaw is up and center. A lot of times kids' jaws will be like this or this or this. You're not going to get a correct S if that's what's happening. So to get the jaw up and center, you can grab a tongue depressor. If you have a tongue depressor, grab it. If not, I usually don't want to take the time. I have the children, I first put my fingers right here where the back molars are, and I have the child find their back molars with their fingers, and we bite our back teeth together, and that naturally moves the jaw back and up. And then we don't want to talk like this because this is a bit weird. So I have them bite their back teeth together and then open just a smidge. So that's what our jaw does. Second, our lips. We want to make sure our lips are slightly retracted. We don't want it like this, and we don't want it like this. We want a slight retraction. And then we move on to our tongue. So if this is our tongue tip, we worry about the sides of our tongue, and we worry about the tip of our tongue. So the sides of our tongue anchor to our top back teeth. And our tongue tip touches the alveolar ridge. So the alveolar ridge, if you look on the roof of your mouth, right behind your back teeth, you'll feel some bumpiness. That bumpiness, I call it the bumpy part, that's the alveolar ridge. So when we say S, our tongue tip touches that bumpy part. We want to make sure that the tongue doesn't touch the teeth and doesn't come forward. So the tongue tip is behind the teeth, pointing up to that bumpy part. Next is airflow. Airflow is very important for S. S is a continuous airflow. It's a fricative sound and has continuous airflow. And then lastly, our voice box is turned off. So when you say S, if you touch your throat here, you'll feel nothing because the voice box is turned off. Okay, that's it. We know how to say a correct S. Now let's get to the good stuff. So if a child can say the sound T correctly, use it. That is an amazing sound because T and S are the exact same sound. Our muscles, everything, our jaw, position, everything is the same except for airflow. The difference is S is a continuous sound and T is a stop. So all airflow stops and then explodes. However, all the muscles are doing the same thing. So this is what I like to do first. So if a child can say T correctly, I start with an exploding T. Some people call it stretchy T. I like exploding T. Kids just kind of think it's kind of fun to call exploding T. But I have the child say T, T, T. I have them feel, we talk about what the muscles are doing. I have them feel where the tongue is. I have them describe to me what they're feeling, and we practice a bunch of T's. T, T, T. Then I tell them we're going to create a new sound. We're going to create an exploding T sound. And how to do that is we're going to say 3 T's and then we're going to explode it. T, 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 t. Let's try that again. T, 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 t. And I call that our new sound. We throw S out the window. I like to throw S out the window because I don't want them to revert back to their old patterns. We're creating a new sound. And I might just practice there. I might practice it with the 3 warm-ups and the exploding T. Once they get good at that, I take out the warm-ups and we just do our exploding T. Once they got that down, then we can move into words. And we move into words that end in a TS. So like hats, cats, lights, bites, beats, And we don't say it with our S sound, we say it with our exploding T sound. So we say hats, cats, and we practice there until they get the hang of it, until they get some good practice, some correct productions. And once that is getting easy for them, or the muscle pattern, they're not having to think about it, they're doing it automatically, we move to ST blends. Now, I start with ST at the beginning because we can take the time when a word starts to get all of our muscles in the correct position to say an S, and then we might say an ST word like state or stinky or steep. And why this is so magical is the tongue wants to be in the correct position for T. So that T that comes after the S is actually helping keep the tongue in the correct position for the S. So when they say steep, the T, they know that that T is coming up. They already know what a correct S feels like, what a correct S sounds like, and the T at the end is helping them keep that correct tongue position for S that they can say then and they say together in the word, like stay, steep, steal. So we start there. Once they get really good at the ST at the beginning of words, then we move to ST at the end of the word. Now this is tricky. This is a tricky jump because they have to say the beginning sounds of the word and then get their tongue in their mouth and their jaw in the correct position for S, but they do have that T at the end to help them. So a word could be rest, east, I love east. I'll get to in a minute why I absolutely love the word east. Least, feast, beast. These are all great words because we're taking that new motor pattern that we're getting pretty good at it and we're upping the challenge to putting it at the end of the word, but we have that final T that's a huge helper to get our tongue into the correct position for S. So that's how I like to progress if I use the T to elicit a correct S, to teach an S, elicit a correct S, and then to elicit a correct S, and then how we practice in different stages. Once the child can do the exploding T, can do ST blends at the beginning, can do ST blends at the end, then I move to words that have the vowel E. Now, I love the vowel E because it is a high unrounded vowel. So this means that the jaw is closed, which we need for an which we need for an S. It means that the tongue is retracted, which we need for an S. So when a child says E, they naturally smile, their tongue naturally retracts, and the sides of the tongue naturally anchor to the top back teeth. E. So it is a great helper. So if we say the word east, that is one of the most magical words because we're starting the word in the correct tongue position. We just have to keep it there for the S, and then we end the word in the exact tongue position, the same tongue position. The tongue doesn't really hardly move at all. East. So I might start with those words, and then I move to other words like see, seat, seek, seep, because the jaw stays closed, the tongue stays retracted for all of those sounds. And again, the E is helping the S get in the right position and keep it in that position. So that is a great next step, is to go to words that have E, that high unrounded vowel. Okay, I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm gonna put some links below where you can read a blog post and all this information, where you can grab some materials. It is really key to have correct, easy to access materials. I absolutely need no print flashcards for ST blends in the beginning, in the middle, at the beginning of words, at the end of words. I need S plus E, that high unrounded vowel. I need those words. I need flashcards that I can send home. I need high practice worksheets, and I need some really fun no print games. So on the membership, we have all of those materials for you. So please check them out and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.